We start with a newcomer to the Reds Room family. She is joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina. For more than 20 plus years, she has performed as a songwriter, singer, and pianist. Her songs and vocal work easily flow across genres, reflecting her training and her many musical influences. Her classical piano training underscores her original songs, a fusion of classic love ballads and contemporary pop hits. In addition to her original songs, she places her unique musical stamp on well known cover songs across genres and the decades, always with lyrical themes that capture young and old audiences alike. Her most recent compositions reflect her current artistic and creative season of life, where secular and worship music collide in a creative embrace with catchy, uplifting songs like Jump in the Water, released in May of 23, the powerhouse ballad Remember, released on January 1st of 24, and now the most recently added new song to add her to her discography called Better Than Me, released in November, now available at all online platforms. In addition to performing her ministry songs in local restaurants and venues, she also teaches piano and voice lessons for students of all ages. Please welcome for the very first time to the Reds Room virtual family. Please welcome Bella G to the show. Bella, good evening to you. Welcome to Reds Room. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. So tell us some of the things that you've been working on here musically in this last little bit. What's kept you busy here in this current season for you musically?
This past season has been less of the songwriting aspect and just really diving into the production piece and trying to get it out. And it's been a lot of trying to circulating it more in local restaurants to try to get the messages of the songs out there.
Bella G is here with us on this edition of Reds Room. Time to take us into our first song of the evening. What's the first song you'd like to share for us tonight?
So it's gonna be Remember, which is actually a song that I wrote in early 2020, right before the height of the pandemic. And I didn't realize actually that it would end up kind of being a little prophetic, and that it's twofold. So a big chunk of it is based on scripture, with remembering, where our help comes from. And also for me, because I lost my mentor that year, who was like a spiritual mother figure to me, it was also in remembrance of her as well. So it's a twofold piece, and it was kind of a little bit how I processed my grief at the time.
LG, you're on Retro.
Nobody knows what it's like to walk in these shoes, to feel the weight of the world. It gets heavy, something to hold on to. But I have this friend who understands my pain, who understands my brokenness. There's no need for me to hold on to shame, and I know you will get me through each day. When life gets so hard and nobody else has the right words to say, he'll comfort my own heart when it's beating. Remember what he spoke over me. I'll remember where my help comes from. Remember where my help comes from. Remember where my help comes from. It's from the one. I'll remember where my help comes from. Remember where my help comes from. Remember where my help comes from. It's from the one. think that you know very well. But then the switch up comes and they go running for the hills. The minute you're in need of their help, the picturesque kind and the lies underneath their smiles. So if they walk away, don't you beg them to stay. It will get better in just a little while. The path up ahead might be narrow, long, and steep, but you'll reap what you sow. Blood, sweat, and tears, plant a seed and watch it grow. It's all love, no fear. Remember, it's all love right here. Remember where your help comes from. Remember where your help comes from. Remember where your help comes from. It's from the one. Please remember where your help comes from. Remember where your help comes from. Remember where your help comes from. It's from the one. He'll be your friend till the end, till the end. He'll be your friend if you let him in. He'll be your friend when they all walk away. He'll be your friend at the end of each day. He'll be your friend when they tell you you're nothing without them. He'll be your friend should they tell you you're nothing without them. He'll be your friend when they tell you you're nothing without them. Será tu amigo cuando te digan que sin los no eres nada. Remember where your help comes from. Remember where your help comes from. Remember where your help comes from. It's from the one. I remember where my help comes from. Remember where my help comes from. Remember where my help comes from. It's from the one. All my help comes from the one, the one, the one, the one, the one. My help comes from the one.
Good stuff right here on Red's Room tonight. Michael Smeckle, good evening to you watching on Facebook. Hello, June Victoria. Great set last night, sir. Good to have you watching as well. Love the Spanish too, says Rachel Durbin. Cheap Boomenlek, we'll hear from just a little bit as well. Says, remember where your help comes from. So beautiful. Indeed, it is. Bella G is here with us here on this Saturday evening edition of Red's Room. What are some of the things that you'll be working on here in the coming weeks and months that listeners and followers of yourself can look forward to? There'd be more piano teaching, more songwriting, a little more venue playing, combination of a little bit of all the above. What's on your docket of things to do musically over the next few months?
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of similar stuff as to what I'm still doing currently. So still teaching, still putting the music out there. I don't know. I feel like in this season, it's probably It's to be determined. I mean, I'd like to potentially put out another song, a single. That's what my goal was anyway. I wasn't striving for any album, or for me it was always, just take a little bit at a time, because it's a process. And when you got everything else going on, it's also, I want to make sure my priorities are right, in the right order. So I don't want to take off more than I can chew. I want to make sure I'm taking my time with it. There's no rush. Whenever it's God's time, it's God. He sets the order and the pace. So for now, I'm just gonna just be chill with it. I don't have a specific timeline or really what's to unfold. It goes day by day, bit by bit, and hopefully I'll get back into another season where it'll be songwriter centric. Right now, I'm still coming off the tail end of putting the music out there, which is a whole nother process. The songwriting thing is all pre that, and I don't want to, again, I don't want to do anything forced. I want to sit with it, sit with myself and God, and, figure out what the message is in the season. So even if it's one song a year, or if it's no songs, this could be a season where it's just going to be low on the songwriting aspect and just more on repopulating the songs and putting them back out there. Because each season it feels new and different each time. And some do feel, not these, but some of the former ones feel expired in a way. So I'm just gonna take it where, whenever God is leading.
I
I
love
don't
that
have
you're
specifics.
yeah, I love that you're receptive to where you're at in each season and being receptive to wherever he's leading in that current season. And as far as songwriting, just letting it happen organically and naturally, because oftentimes that's where some of the best lyrics and some of the best writings happen, is if he's really propelling and leading it forward into what you're experiencing in that
Absolutely.
season and really being in tune with that.
Exactly. And the other thing, the piece I would add with a lot of these songs for the main chorus, it honestly started out with me singing other cover songs, and then I would have these random like spontaneous melodies that would come. And if I kept hearing that over and over, I'm like, well, this could be a song for something of my on my own that I put out there. Because it went from doing kind of secular songs, but again could be crossover music, and then I started kind of doing melody
Yeah.
mashups with that, with worship songs, because they had similar themes. So the Van Morrison song "Crazy Love," I end up putting the worship song in there. What was it, by Corey Asbury?
Reckless love.
And it
Yeah.
actually fits. It fits perfectly, you know. So, and then that's kind of what preceded the original stuff, which the refrain, the thing that repeats over and over, was all spontaneous. It was all in the moment. I'm just like sitting at the piano, again, not forcing it. But then it was the melodies come first. The lyrics come honestly after. I hear melodies more than I do the words. Um, so yeah, that took a little more, if I'm being honest, crafting to put a story there.
Bella G is with us for the very first time here on this Saturday edition of Red's Room, our 449th time together, you and I, here on Red's Room. Overall, song number 2, Bella, what do you have for us to share this evening?
Dump in the Water, which was actually the second song I wrote, more or less from this new season I was in from 2020 onward. And I think it kind of speaks. I don't like to say too much about the music, because I want it, again, I take it to folks outside of the church. So maybe people who are non-believers. And I want it to be evident, kind of the heart of the song, without saying what it is. Because a lot of times people will come up and they'll be like, there's something to this. Are you singing about God? Are you singing about, without ever actually having said his name? And so I like to just kind of go into it. I might say the title of it, but I won't say necessarily what it's about. But I always say to the folks who may not believe in Christ, I talk a lot about, water is very symbolic. And for the first baptism, there was water involved. So I leave it at that, and I just let the song do the rest. So yeah, it's called Jump in the Water. Isn't it a wonder
how beautiful life is. Even when you're pulled under, you find out life is worth living. Don't hesitate to get back up. When life throws you punches and you've had enough, look all around. It's amazing what a change of mind can do for you. So if you jump in the water, jump in the water with me. Oh, jump in the water. My love is vast and wide and deep as the sea. Jump in the water. Jump in the water with me. Jump in the water. Eras una nueva escritora en cuestión empecé a ver. Call it something refreshing. It brightens and lightens up my mornings on the hardest nights and the hardest days. I know that He is always here to stay, forever in my heart. I have received His salvation, and it purifies and redeems all my mistakes, past, present, and future. They're all washed away the day He said to me, jump in the water, jump in the water with me, jump in the water. Soy tan vasto, ancho y profundo como el mar. Jump in the water, jump in the water with me. Jump in the water. Eras una nueva escritora en cuestión empecé a ver. Empecé a ver. You are loved just the way you are, flaws and all, you're priceless. You are loved just the way you are, you're more than enough. Stop selling yourself short. Eras amado como es, no tienes precio, precio, precio. You are loved just the way you are, flaws and all, you're priceless. You are loved just the way you are, you're more than enough. Stop selling yourself short. Eras amado como es, no tienes precio, precio, precio. Jump in the water, jump in the water with me, jump in the water. Soy tan vasto, amplio y profundo como el mar. Jump in the water, jump in the water with me, jump in the water. My love is vast and wide and deep as the sea. That's the sound of water. Just let it rush over. Your love refreshes me like water, like water. Your love refreshes me, take me higher and further. Your love refreshes me, you're my strong tower and my refuge and my strength. Your love refreshes me, your love refreshes me the rest of my days.
Bella G is here with us on the Saturday edition of Red's Room. Michael Smeckle says, how can I buy it or support it? He's loving the music so far. Some of these songs are available on the streaming platforms and stuff, I would imagine. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Those are both out. I always say kind of Spotify is the main place where they're located, but if you go to the website, it'll link you easier to find the music. So that's just www.bella-g.com, and that's that one-stop shop where you can find where the music is.
Okay, excellent. Some of the things that you're doing, I think Rachel kind of dabbles in it a little bit too, but what is one of your favorite aspects about just the classical piano teaching aspect of it? What's your favorite piece about being able to do that?
I think it opens a little wider door for larger repertoire because I do play a little bit by ear. That's how I got started. But I realized there were still some limitations there. And I wanted to expand that and kind of gift that gift of expansion to others. So teaching is in a way its own little thing. It gives you a different kind of joy. And just seeing the students and how far they develop and progress. Some take longer than others, but it just makes me so proud. I've had several of them from middle school and all the way until they graduated high school, and seeing just how much they've improved. And it does so much. Teaching is more than just teaching, right? I mean, it is, you are being a mentor to these kids, whereas they probably don't have that necessarily, and they're going to be more inclined to. It's a big role. It is a big role, and I don't think it's given enough credit for all that it is and how it helps kids find their way in a sense.
I love that because I love that, and you touched on it's more than just teaching. It's molding and shaping young people, not only in their artistry and their creative abilities and talents, but in a lot of ways, just having that mentor ability shapes them for life and whatever life brings them. And we definitely need more people who are able to be more of those type of influences and positive, mentors and role models in some of these young people's life, to be able to really nurture those and harness those gifts and those talents and those abilities that they have, and show them, now here's what to do with it. Here's how to best harness it and to be able to express it in a way that's constructive and positive. And so thank you for the role
and
that you play that. It does
for a lifetime.
A lot of us can look back and remember some of the influences and the role models that people have played in our lives. I think it's very important. Who would you say has been some of your musical influences? Do you have any musical folks that you look up to?
That's hard to answer, because if you had asked me that like 5 years, it changes now. Like I don't honestly, who I used to listen to before, and it's nothing bad to say about secular music, but I am steering clear of some of the folks that used to inspire me growing up, or who were my influencers, and I'm like, that is not something I want to be anymore. It's just being honest.
Fair point.
It's hard to answer that.
It's an evolving.
It is. It's constantly changing, especially the season I'm in now, and it might change a couple days from now. So it's hard to answer that. I do know that in terms of music, the sky is the limit. Genre-wise, I listen to everything. I mean, literally everything. As long as there's like not a lot of heavy cursing or anything like that, with bad messaging, I don't care what the genre is. I mean, country, metal, anything you can think of, because I feel like I don't want to limit myself to necessarily the soundscape, because it makes me a better musician in terms of crafting the songs. But I have to be careful when it comes to, again, the messaging of it, because that will influence, the direction it goes. So.
I'm very eclectic the same way. I could appreciate that all day long. Red, did you have a sound audio question before we get into our final song for Bella here?
Yes, Bella, I had a quick question on the audio settings on Zoom. can you check to see if the audio button is clicked for automatically adjust microphone volume?
Let me see. Clicking on under settings. Let's see.
Should be right underneath microphone when you
Okay.
should be.
Zoom browser built in. Mute my microphone. Oh no, that's not it. Background noise suppression. Background built in Zoom background noise removal. Blur. So I'm under the settings. I'm on the audio tab under settings. Is that right?
Yeah, you do
Are
the
you-
upper
are you
audio
on-
and then go to audio settings,
Okay.
Are
and
you
then
on-
it should be right underneath microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're in the desktop version, it's under Zoom Workplace. You go under settings and under the audio tab, it has speaker and then microphone. And
Okay.
before microphone, there's a check dialog box that says automatically adjust microphone volume.
See,
Before
that's
you
not
hit
actually
the
on my
audio.
screen.
Oh,
I
Okay,
have where it
never
says
mind. then.
speaker and then microphone. Yeah, because see, I'm connected to my mixer board, and that's to the this mic. So
Yeah,
I don't know if.
so you're on the Zoom settings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
maybe she has a
okay.
different
Well, it's different on your side. Okay.
different version, possibly. Yeah.
Is there a compressor on by any chance? Because for some reason, when you start to play your keyboard, it starts off and then it goes a little softer sometimes.
There might
That's
be
what I was
actually
trying to see if Zoom was trying to shut something down.
Yeah, I think it's automatically compressing.
Okay,
Hold on.
we can go with what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's just I wanted to make sure. See if we could do it on
Is
our
it
side.
is it making it sound terribly like distorted?
No. We can
Or-
still hear you. It just lowers
Okay.
a little.
Oh, I see.
He was
Yeah.
just trying to keep
Oh,
it level.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I don't know how to fix it. Sorry.
We can
Okay,
still hear
good.
we can still hear you good. We can still hear you good. I think it was just a
Okay.
quick little question.
Okay.
He was just checking to see if it was a quick, easy troubleshooting there.
It probably
Ah.
is, but then again, I'm working with a Mac, and there's nothing easy about Macs.
Hey, it sounds really good.
It's a regular computer.
It does
It
sound
does
good.
sound really good though.
John Gramberg
Okay.
says, "Good to see you guys. Good Mother's Day weekend to you all. Good to see you too, John. A true artist spoken. Yes, indeed, Michael. Great to have Bella with us for a very first time here on Red's Room. You have one more song you'd like to share with us here, Bella? What's this last song you want to share here?
So this was the most recent one I put out, and it was called Better Than Me. And I realized, hindsight after writing it, it's actually all about humility. And I didn't know that at the time until I actually like further looked at the lyrics. But yeah, so it's about acknowledging that, I don't have all the answers, and that's okay. By saying that and giving that surrender to God, it helps with kind of honestly building your faith. And that's what faith is all about anyway, trusting and believing in the things that aren't seen. So when you listen to the lyrics, again, I try to craft a story. I start off with all of my songs very like me centric, but by the end, I feel like it's a broad, open-ended, and anybody can relate to it at that point. Plus, I don't like to write songs where I'm starting here in my place of honesty and just feeling defeated to, okay, but that doesn't mean you may be down now, but you don't have to stay there. That's where I want to get the listeners to, where we're feeling, okay, we're honest with our emotions, things aren't going so great. And by the end of the song, we're going to work ourselves out of it, essentially. And so that's the link with all of my songs. But this one's called Better Than Me. It is, in fact, about humility. It gets so hard sometimes because I cry and no one seems to hear me. It gets so hard sometimes when everyone relies on you to hold them together, so they don't believe these lines are from the stress of years and years of starting over to just merely survive. This heart of mine, it bleeds and bleeds all over you. As my tears fall down, what do you see
What do you see when you look at me? Do you see a broken girl or someone who was irredeemable? I make so many mistakes, yet your love still holds me in place. I make so many mistakes, I wouldn't still be here if not for your grace. 'Cause I know you know better. You know better than me, and I know people fold like paper, so fragile and flimsy. So I will trust what I don't know. Because of your love, you know better than me. You're my only hope. You're more than enough, and you know better than me. I got nothing left to lose. I've hit rock bottom. There's no further way down than where I am. So I will take this chance with you, believing there is more to this life than what meets the eye. Fictions of stories in the past, glories of victories, and the spoils of conquerors. But I don't want any of those things if I don't have the one who makes my heart sing. Your love is amazing, your love is amazing to me. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I am like a bird and my feet won't ever touch the ground now. Open the door of possibilities, of possibilities. Your breath gives me new wings. Open the door of possibilities. You give life new meaning. 'Cause I know you know better. You know better than me. And I know moods change like the weather. One day it's sunny, then raining. So I will hold on to your love, because it will outlast all that's fading till my final breath. I'll trust in you now, 'cause you know better than me. Keep molding me, protecting me. You're unfolding me. You're my best friend, holding me and showing me. You're unfolding me. You're my best friend. You have my heart, my mind, and soul. You are by far the most divine. You have my heart, my mind, and soul. You are by far the most divine, because I know you know better. You know better than me, and I'm not too very clever or cunning to think I'll ever be anything without your love, because I know I'm not my own savior. You're more than enough. Love is better than luck, so I'll never give up. Our strength is found in you, and nothing else will do. 'Cause you know better than me.
Yeah, Bella G right here on the Saturday edition of Red's Room. Red says this is an awesome song. I concur with that. She says love it too. Where is there a way that we can continue following your musical journey via your social media, streaming sites? How can we best stay in contact with you?
So I am on YouTube, I have Spotify. All of that can be found on the homepage of my website, which is www.bella-g.com. And yeah, it'll all be there. Nice, easy links, consolidated.
Fantastic stuff. It's been great having you on for the very first time. Welcome to the Reds
Thank you for
Room
having me.
artist family there, Bella. Let's go ahead and pray for Bella before we head into Rachel, who's waiting in the wings. So we just thank you for Bella. We just thank you for continuing to inspire her in every season of life. We just thank you that you are continuing to flow through her, that you're continuing to inspire her in many different avenues, through her lyrics, through her words, through her testimony, and also through the mentorship of young folks in order to help cultivate and nurture their giftings and their talents as well. Thank you for using her as a voice to be able to do that. I thank you that you're continuing to provide for her personally and professionally as only you can do. Continue to provide doors of opportunity that she may walk through, and continue to have her lean on your wisdom and discernment for whatever next season of life that you're taking her through in her music, in her artistry. We just thank you for her great, wonderful voice, adding to the collective voices that are gathered here tonight. We just thank you for what you're doing for Bella. We just thank you for what you're doing for the rest of the singing as well. We just thank you for all these things you do.
Amen.
Thank you, Bella.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you joining
Thanks for
us.
having me.
Awesome to have you with us. It's Bella G, everybody, here starting off this edition of Red's Room here on this Saturday night. Great to have you with us as well.